Hello, this is Matthew. So, I've been trying to find a positive, uplifting, I guess you could say, intelligent way to funnel my feelings about this whole virus thing and all the shutdown of all the states. And um, I've been saying a lot of negative stuff lately, and a lot of it I believe I still stand behind, even though it was said maybe in frustration. But so I've decided to title this video war versus the virus. Okay, so in the situation similar to this, let's say for instance instead of the world being or the country being invaded by a microscopic virus that is going to most likely kill about 20% of the population over the next 3 years anyway, or something like that. I forgot the exact amount. It's a pretty high amount. It's 20%, something like that. And even if it's not even that much, even if it's only half that, or even if it's more than that, let's just say, for instance, instead of a virus invading the country, let's say there was a foreign enemy of some sort of horde of people, maybe ISIS or some kind of large, group of people that were invading, and they were killing, 20 people here, 10 people there, 200 people here, 400 people there on a daily basis. What would our response be to that? That's what I want to challenge people with today. What would our response be to actual people with guns and knives and bombs and whatever attacking random citizens throughout the country? What would our response be? Here's what I think our response would be, and you can tell me whether or not I'm off the rocker, or if you agree with me. So let's just say the virus victims are actually victims of terrorist attacks instead of virus. What would we be doing right now? We'd be locking up the elderly, keeping them out of harm's way. We'd be keeping children out of harm's way. We'd be running all of our businesses, but we'd be guarding them some way. We'd be making sure they were safe, all of them. We wouldn't shut down gun stores for pity's sake. I've heard that they're talking about shutting down the gun stores here in Idaho. They haven't. I don't know if they've decided yet on that, but we certainly wouldn't be shutting down gun stores. And all the people who were strong and healthy and knew how to protect the land, knew how to protect people, they would be out. They would be out working. They'd be out getting ready for the invasion. They wouldn't be hiding. They'd be running their businesses. They'd be living life, but they would do it with caution, and they'd be armed and ready in case that invader came. Right. So why are we doing this any differently when it's a bug that nobody can even see, uh, that may or may not kill X number of people? Is shutting down the state of Idaho or the state of whatever going to stop this? It may slow it down a little bit, but is it going to stop it? So that's the thing I'm going to challenge everybody with. How would we I can't even talk. How would we be responding to this if this were an invasion of people with weapons rather than a bug? We'd be fortified. We'd be operating, would be production would be up, because we would need supplies to, for people would need money and stuff for their food. They need food production to be up. They would need to go to work so that they could continue to provide for their families. They wouldn't be, the the children and the elderly and the people who were, more susceptible to this invasion, would be hidden away, or they'd be safe somewhere. But the rest of us, the strong, the people that can still work, the people can still be outside, will be outside, because we would want to protect this country not only from the invaders, but from financial collapse, and from the collapse of the infrastructure, the collapse of business, the collapse of commerce. We wouldn't all hide under our beds until the threat went away. We would meet it head on. We would meet it with bravery. And think about all the people who have bled and died for this country over the last, 200-300 years, whatever, 250 years, 238 years, to make it what it is today. And just think about all the sacrifices that people have made. They've left their homes, they've gone off, they've been shot, they've been stabbed, they've been killed, they've bled, they've risked great loss, and they've experienced great loss. Think about all those people and what's going to happen if we just give up and just hide under our bed for the next 30 days or 40 days or whatever it is, what do you think is going to happen? All the stuff that they've worked for is going to go away. It's going to die because we're not going to have food production. We're not going to have people bringing things and buying things. There's not going to be any money exchanged. The stock market's going to crash. The farms are going to go under. They're going to dry up. They're going to, the farmers are going to sell their farms to the government or whatever they're going to have to do. It's going to be really bad unless the people that don't need to be hiding under beds and hiding in closets and watching Netflix stay out there and continue to work. Don't close down any business, period. Just keep the people who are most susceptible to the problem, to the threat, keep them safe. Take precautions when you do business. Maybe a few businesses, maybe things like massage parlors where people are really up close, maybe that kind of thing. But anything else, if you want to go to a bowling alley, take a bottle, have the bowling alley put bottles of spray solution out there with bleach in it. Spray the ball before you start. Spray the ball when you're done. Spray the seat down. Wear a mask. Don't just stop living. Seriously, would we stop living if we were being invaded? No, we'd be ready. We'd be out there. We'd be armed. We'd be ready, and we'd be keeping things going. Not just the quote unquote essential business, but everything, because we're not a bunch of punks. The United States is not a bunch of punks. We don't just lie down whenever a threat happens. We stand up. We meet that threat head on, and that's what I want people to think about. Maybe this is the right thing for now. Maybe just for the next 20 days. But this cannot continue indefinitely. We've got to, if it continues like this, we're going to have to come to the point where we're just going to realize that this thing's going to happen, and we just need to live life. So that's what I want you to think about. All right.